I tried explaining my guinea pig why this Olympus is such a great camera, but I have a feeling she just wanted a piece of salad and didn't listen to a word I said. I hope you will be more interested because this is one of the most fun cameras I came across lately. I have always been a big fan of Olympus cameras, owned a good deal of them and reviewed pretty much all in the last 8 or 9 years. Back in 2009, when first PEN model came out, it gave us a glimpse of where technology was headed. What everyone felt was left out is built-in electronic viewfinder, and finally, 7 years later, we got it. For me, PEN F is the pen I wanted from the first day. Build quality and looks of this camera is really something special. I don't recall when was the last time I had a camera as sexy as this one on review. Entire top plate and all the dials are made from aluminum. All the markings on the dials are engraved, not painted, and they really make reassuring sounds when used. Here's a quick demonstration, you really need to hear this. I also like the way camera sits in my hand. It has a solid thumb rest, nicely shaped and covered with rubber. Just keep in mind this camera feels best with small and light lenses. If you attach something as big as, for example, 40 to 150mm f2.8 lens, it will handle much differently, and I mean that in a bad way. For me, this camera is best used with small primes like this 17mm f1.8. I would also pair it with 12, 25 and 45mm lenses, depending what and how I want to shoot. Sadly, bottom plate is made from plastic and quite prone to scratches, as you can see. It's a shame they haven't used metal here. Also keep in mind this is not a weather-sealed camera. Olympus kept this feature for its OMD models. It is very easy to control PEN F. It has twin dials for shutter speed and aperture, as well as dedicated exposure compensation dial and bunch of other controls, many of which are customizable. Sensor has 20 megapixels, what is the highest pixel count for micro four thirds cameras, and a very efficient 5-axis stabilization system. As for image quality, if you were satisfied with the old 16 megapixel sensor, you will also like this one, since it provides very similar results. Out-of-camera JPEGs are splendid, and with the level of JPEG customization and available effects, this will really be a camera to enjoy if you are among those who like to get everything in the camera just right. On the other hand, I'm a pure RAW shooter, and all these samples you see now are RAW files converted to my personal liking. PEN F produces nice and detailed images, with good colors and good deal of headroom in RAW files to recover highlight or lift shadow. In the terms of absolute image quality from cameras of similar price range, I still find the Nikon D7200 to have better dynamic range, but a bit different color rendering, so I still kind of prefer Olympus and Canon for its colors. As for low light capabilities, with good exposure to the right I was able to get usable shots at ISO 12800. But for most users and most occasions, I think ISO 3200 is maximum for regular use. Just keep in mind that this camera has built-in stabilization on the sensor, and at least for static scenes you won't need high ISO in the first place. Auto ISO control allows you to set lower and upper limit, but still gives you no control over shutter speed. That's a shame. PEN F has a unique high resolution mode, which when enabled produces 80 megapixel images. It does so using its stabilization system. Sensor moves during exposure and takes several shots, which are then combined to create one ultra high resolution image. I was very curious about it, since 80 megapixels is way above anything else on the market. So here are the examples. When zoomed in to 100% magnification, you can see more details, but not in the way I was hoping for. I can see this mode being useful in some instances when you might need really high resolution, like occasional commercial work, landscapes or macro. But if you think PEN F will replace proper high-resolution camera like Canon 5DS, you are wrong. Olympus must be on tripod and you must shoot motionless objects to get usable results. And even then it simply does not produce similar level of detail like high-resolution full-frame camera. If you use it handheld or something moves in the frame, there will be blurred areas in photos. If nothing else, you can use this mode to create exposure effects like this one when you intentionally move the camera during exposure. Video recording is available up to 1080 resolution at 60 frames per second. For most users this is good enough, but in 2016 one might wish for 4K resolution. Manual exposure controls are available, as well as sound level adjustment. Sadly, there is no input for external microphone or zebra function. As for video quality, I was pleasantly surprised. Olympus never paid much attention to video recording, just like Fuji. These are pure photography-centered companies, but I must conclude PEN F has really nice looking videos, full of details with really good realistic color reproduction. Mechanical shutter has a nice sound to it, not very loud. Here's a demonstration. And this is electronic shutter. It is absolutely silent, of course. This is how the 10 frames per second mechanical burst sounds like. Rear multi-well controller can be reassigned to control autofocus points directly, just the way I like it. Single press on magnify button is enough to reset it to center or any other point which you assigned as a home position. PEN F also has face recognition and it is smart enough to recognize left or right eye. Pretty neat. Overall autofocus speed is nearly instantaneous in good light and pretty decent in nighttime. LCD has a usual 3 inches diagonal and 1 million dots. It is fully articulated, what comes very handy for video or weird angle photography. In some occasions, like street photography, I would rather have tilt LCD, the one that only tilts up or down, but this is just a matter of personal preference. LCD is bright enough even on sunny days and has perfect viewing angles. It is also touch sensitive, but does not support multi-touch, so you cannot pinch and zoom with 2 fingers like you would on smartphone or some other touch-enabled cameras like Canon or Panasonic. Touch control also does not work in many systems. Basically, you can use it only to scroll through playback, move around, zoom part of the image and change focus points. First time on a pen camera there is a built-in electronic viewfinder, something I and probably many other photographers have been waiting for years. It uses OLED technology and has very high 2.36 million dots, what makes it as good as any other top-of-the-range EVF on the market. What I like best is the top left placement on the EVF, just like on rangefinder cameras. I really enjoy looking through viewfinder with the right eye and scanning surroundings with my left eye. Response is quite good. It takes around a second to switch from EVF to LCD and the other way around. Still not instant though, but we are still waiting for the camera, which would switch momentarily. Rubber piece around the EVF is good as long as you do not wear prescription glasses. It cannot be removed, and when you have glasses you cannot see the entire EVF, especially the corners. PEN F uses standard SD memory cards which share the compartment with the battery. Battery is strong enough for around 300 shots, what is usual for this type of camera. Tripod mount is not very far from the battery compartment, so it will depend on the size of your tripod plate whether you will be able to access battery and memory card compartment when on tripod. One thing I really did not like is the battery indicator. This is an old problem with Olympus cameras for years and I wonder if they will ever solve it. The thing is, PEN F will go from half full indicator to flashing red in just 20 or 30 shots and then simply power off at one point. Bundled with every PEN F is the small flash unit. It connects using the standard hot shoe and draws power from the camera. Feature which makes it to stand out is the ability to tilt upward so you get bounce function. Well done. PEN F also features wireless control of external flash units up to 3 groups. To conclude my review, I can simply say this is the pen I have been waiting from the beginning. Full of features with great photo and video quality, with built-in viewfinder and really sexy and ergonomically perfect body. Only a few details might have been even better, and these are wider ceiling, microphone input, 4K video and control over shutter speed for auto ISO. Besides that, PEN F is really joy to use, especially with prime lenses, and Micro Four Thirds system has a bunch of excellent ones. The camera is a bit pricey at this moment, but I think it is worth it and will be even better deal once the price drops a little in few months. That's all for this review. If you have a question, feel free to ask me in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel for updates, and if you want to support my work or my guinea pigs, buy stuff on Amazon using my affiliate links below the video. You will not pay any more than otherwise, but I will get a small percentage from every purchase. Thanks for watching.